This is the Fifth Estate Winning Headlines, your media police post. In this segment, we summarize some of the headlines that you might have missed this morning. But we also take a look at the political pieces that we call cartoons in this country. Today is International Women's Day, the 8th of March 2019. And I am 2J.
I am 2M.
And I am DM, your host for today, sitting in for Miss K. Let's get right to it and look at the headlines for today. On the Star, Murathe hires Orengo to block Ruto 2022 bid. Daily Nation, Ruto to Raila, this is my stake in dams. And The Standard, County's new field for Ruto-Raila war.
Yes.
This headline is actually incoherent. It needed a semicolon or something.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult to read, isn't it?
Yeah.
County's new field for Ruto, Raila, yeah.
What do we attack first?
I say, I'm seeing a common thread with the Standard and the Nation.
Yeah.
So I say let's deal with the Star
With the Star.
And then
Yeah.
these two collectively?
together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. The
Right.
Star.
So Murathe hires Orengo to block Ruto 2022 bid. Guys, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What if the courts just agree with Orengo?
And they could. They've been known to make some outrageous rulings lately.
Yeah.
So it's a possibility. And I
Yeah.
think what would happen is political upheaval. Now all the
Yes, definitely.
dirty tricks will come out. This is when Ruto will remember that if the president is impeached,
Yes.
he then wins himself two terms and a half.
Yes.
That's true.
Can Ruto do something before they do him?
Why not?
And what is that? Impeachment?
Yeah, exactly. That's a possibility that
Yeah.
if the courts, as this process is going on in the courts,
Yeah.
Ruto has a possibility of starting impeachment proceedings so that he does then get his, as DM has said,
Yes.
2 terms and a half.
Especially if Murathe is not acting on his own behalf, which is very likely.
Yes. I don't think anybody has the profile to get senior counsel to represent
James
them.
Orengo,
Right?
yeah,
And
that's very
now he has senior counsel. He has James Orengo, he has senior counsel Camino. And we always see these guys always next to Mr. Babaman.
Absolutely.
However, if we do look at the pure and just plain reading of what the Constitution says,
Yeah.
for example, for the president in section 142(2), it says a person may not hold the office of the president for more than 2 terms.
Right.
And while the duration of 2 terms is vague, we do understand it to be 5 years per term. So that's a collective
Yes.
10.
Yeah.
So for the president, currently we know that this is his last term.
Yeah.
For the DP, however, section 148(8) says a person shall not hold the DP office for more than 2 terms as well.
Yes.
But I think if you were just to look at it logically, it means that the DP would finish his 2 terms
Yeah.
and still be eligible to run for the office of the president.
Yes, and
However, that's our plain
Yes.
reading of the Constitution, and the Constitution does also describe them as a person, doesn't refer
Yes.
to it as the presidency
as a
or that
collective body.
as a collective body.
Right.
Yeah, which is what Murathe is trying to.
It will be interesting to see how that plays out. So the headline itself, let me remind you of our criteria. Is the headline topical
Yes.
or is it speculative?
Yeah.
Is the headline repetitive or groundbreaking? Is it thoughtful or is it plain lazy?
Topical, most definitely.
I think it is.
Groundbreaking.
We already know what's happening.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not too married to it. Nothing
Yeah.
new for me.
I think as this story unfolds, I think for now we just need to put it.
In the parking bay,
Parking
I think.
Yes.
We'll see what
We
happens.
hold
over
nothing
the weekend.
against it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll look at these two collectively. Ruto to
Yes.
Raila, this is my stake in dams. County's new field for Ruto-Raila war.
Yeah.
Both are informed by the 2 speeches by Ruto and Raila yesterday and the day before yesterday at the Devolution Conference.
Yeah.
So
You know-
what's your take?
You know what, Daisy? So you say we've joined them.
Yes, yeah. I
Yeah.
think we take them together.
What we have done here at the Fifth Estate, we have done a little bit of analysis on this damn story. This damn story. And we have sort of come to the conclusion that where DCI could have a bit of a problem is not the entire 19.8 billion shillings. It is 7.8 billion, Bob.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I do have a problem, and I said it yesterday. If DCI is asking about insurance that was not paid, right? and we said it, he's behaving like a project manager because his purview should be restricted to criminal culpability, right? The person who should be asking Rotich the kind of questions KINOTI is asking him is either Parliament or the Senate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think if we go back to what you've mentioned about our analysis,
Yeah.
that is based on a primary source, which
Yes.
we're taking it to be the
Right.
press release,
statement.
the press
Yeah.
statement from CS Rotich.
Yes.
And from that, the first thing we would like to say is that there is no 21 billion.
Yes.
There is
It's
no
not
20 billion.
Yes.
According to the facts we've received from Rotich, it is 19.8 billion.
It's 19.8 billion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
7.8 of which
Yes.
is in question
Yes.
by the DCI.
By
Yes, that
DCI.
is and that is the 7.8 billion that
Yes.
the deputy president
Yes.
alluded to also. So he
Yes.
was right in saying that it was 7.8 billion
Yeah.
because that is the money that was allocated
Yes.
or that was paid out to the contractor,
Contractors.
and that's where the problem is. But also, given that we have Henry Rotich's statement on the newspapers, I think we should also interrogate the rest of the money, which
yes.
is 12 billion.
And I think that's
Yes.
where part of the confusion lies.
Yes.
So if we say that the total amount that has been paid out as of today, we
Yes.
presume,
Right.
is 19.8 billion.
Yeah.
We divide it into two.
Yes.
One part of that is
Yes.
7.8 billion that was paid to the contractors
Yes.
as
Yes.
15% contract upfront payment.
Absolutely.
That is to commence work.
Yes.
Therefore, remaining
Yes.
is 12
Billion
billion. And I
shillings.
think, DM, you're going to explain that.
Well, the
12 billion.
the 12 billion is also divided into two.
Yeah.
The larger part, which is 11.1 billion,
Yes.
is insurance. It goes to
Insurance.
insurance. But this is insurance that
Yes.
insures the lender's
The lender.
money.
Yes.
So it is not on behalf of the country. It's
Yes.
for the lenders.
Absolutely.
And then the rest of the money, 900 and something million,
Yes.
pays administrative charges,
Yes.
it pays banking fees,
Yeah.
etc., and handling charges for
Yes.
the
Yes.
lead of the banking consortium because they have formed a syndicate in order to lend us this money.
Absolutely.
My question is,
Yeah.
first of all, 11 billion, 12 billion is 18% of the collective
Of the
amount
entire, yes.
that the dams are supposed to cost, which is 66.5
And that's huge.
billion.
That's huge.
11 billion.
Yes.
So what-
Isn't that exorbitant?
Before we even discuss its exorbitancy, is the fact that DP is correct, right?
Yes.
That 7.8 billion has in fact been paid out to the contractors.
Yes.
So this witch hunt by KINOTI
Yes.
is a little bit misled.
And you see, KINOTI is interrogating very many moving parts. And I want to say this. If you're going to talk about insurance, the company that has insured this lender's money is 100% owned by the Italian
By the
state.
Italians.
All right?
As stated by Rotich.
Yes. If you go and start looking into insurance things covered by a foreign state, a sovereign foreign state, all right, you're not just looking for criminal culpability. You're touching diplomatic waters.
Yeah,
all right?
that's very true.
And diplomatic wires. You don't want to do this thing, in
With
the
your mouth
media.
open.
It would be so good if you say you have taken 4 ministers to court because you have found them with this crime,
Yeah.
right? But if you go and play all this in the public gallery out there, all right, people will decide who is guilty and who is innocent in the court of public opinion. Do you want that as a state? Absolutely.
But in
zero.
addition to that,
Yeah.
KINOTI is muddling his own investigation by constantly putting information out there that he
Yeah.
himself doesn't seem to be sure about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This will cause him to backtrack. And then not only that, we have so many conflicting figures
Yes.
that we start feeling misinformed.
Yes.
So when the real figures come out, it will be a case of crying wolf.
Yes.
We will not,
Yes.
believe them.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I was KINOTI, I would use every opportunity to keep
To
quiet.
zip it.
Yep.
Close those DCI gates to the media. Just put a big kifuli, and then you say
So
no
now,
press.
okay, so now we say, what do we think about these headlines? Okay,
Yes.
Are we
just
looking
came.
at them collectively? Let's
Yes.
disaggregate.
Yeah.
Daily Nation. Is
Yeah.
it topical?
It
Yes.
is.
It is topical.
It is definitely.
Is it repetitive or groundbreaking?
Absolutely.
Absolutely what?
It is.
absolutely
No,
what?
it is. It is groundbreaking.
Did you just make a guess? Is it thoughtful? Or is
No,
it lazy?
Let me say why it is thoughtful, and it goes back to us joining the two. This thing is not about a dam. This thing is about succession.
It's about
Okay.
succession. It's about 2022 and it's
Right.
about Ruto
Yeah.
and
And
Raila.
therefore-
It's about those two
That's
players.
why the pictures have shown here. This one is saying Ruto has
Can I
stolen.
help you guys and make this easy? Purely on the basis of grammatical errors, I want to toss a standard.
Let me tell you, I have something to say about the standard. This thing, you know where I've taken it?
Tell us.
Tell us.
Let me explain it to you.
Make the revelation.
Right? I've attacked Raila, but I also want to say that his proposal is clever, right? Because what he's saying in his proposal is that we abolish counties without actually saying it. So he's come up with
A three-tier level of
I think, yeah.
No, I think he's expressly said that he is not proposing that counties be abolished.
He has
He's proposing an amalgamation of the counties, which then gives us the regional
Let me-
blocks, and he's saying it
let
would be
me-
like
let-
Nigeria, like South Africa.
Yeah, but let me explain it this way. He's saying that we reduce the number of the bicameral parliament by half.
Okay, so we're reducing representation, and not geographical demarcation.
Actually, we probably will, because you have
2M.
349. You have
2M,
300.
not two.
You have
Please,
349
can you make
MPs.
your-
That
your
just
point.
has
You
nothing
have-
to do
no,
with
no,
this
no, 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 no,
headline.
Just wait. You have 16. You have 67 members of the Senate. You have 416 current.
2M, you're preaching to no choir. 2M, our producers are telling us to wrap it.
No. I will say, you have 416 representatives. If you
Amen.
divide that by half, you have 208. Do you know what the effect of that is?
Wage
You
bill, is that
cut-
the point?
Yes. What the president said in Kirinyaga is that you have 50% going to recurrent expenditure, you have 32% going to, to salaries.
2M, what's your
Literally,
point?
82%
What is your point?
of 82%, if you hit me,
Our war is about
It's
to break
International
out.
Women's Day, don't you dare.
Welcome back. You're watching the winning headlines. So during the break, we realized that we needed to interrogate some numbers that 2M had mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
2J, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, so 2M was bringing up some very interesting points about numbers that the president had brought up during the devolution conference in relation to the amount of money that counties have been spending and where it has been allocated to.
yes.
So we wanted to check that because there was an information overload. Excuse our timeout. So the numbers that were presented by the president, according to africacheck.org, are incorrect. So there's some discrepancies in terms of the percentages that he assigned to county expenditure, development funds, and so
recurring salaries and development.
exactly.
Yeah.
So the reason we wanted to check these numbers is because it relates to a bigger issue. If the president is going in front of governors and
For the country.
exactly the country very well, yeah, in front of the country and giving out incorrect facts about where numbers are being allocated to, does this reflect on KINOTI's numbers? Sorry, Rotich's numbers as well. Could that mean that his numbers are incorrect as well?
You know,
But most particularly KINOTI, because he's the one who is on an expedition to find out what the truth is.
absolutely.
So if he gives information that is not necessarily correct, then that jeopardizes not only his investigation, it also jeopardizes trust in the government.
Yeah. You know, allow me to, again, attack DCI, right? And I understand the president's point. We are spending too much on recurring expenditure, but not too much with development.
Yeah.
But I'll leave that to where it belongs. You see, KINOTI tells us that $40 million went to Treasury, went to Italy, went to London, came to Westlands, Nairobi. That was $40 million, was withdrawn in cash,
Cash.
right? And then went to people's houses. Now, here's the thing. $40 million is not 40,000 shillings.
No, it is not.
$40 million is about 400 kgs. It's a weight, it's like
It
a full-
requires a forklift
Yeah, it's
to move.
actually, I was checking it out, it is a fully grown gorilla.
Or 2 lions.
Or 2 lions,
Yes.
yeah.
Right? Now, should you withdraw $40 million, the amount of money CBK would put into the market, all right, in a week, just to stabilize the shilling, Governor Joroge would know immediately. It is not small money. $40 million would affect the liquidity market of foreign currency in this country, right? And you cannot just go and place it in someone's home. And actually, if that happened, then why doesn't DCI then go, because that account has a name,
And that's
No,
what
it has a
yeah.
number, so it must have a name,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
So therefore, he should declare what that name is. If
Yeah.
that name is Henry Rotich, and maybe this is why the DCI is conducting this investigation with the confidence that he is,
Yes.
maybe he knows what that name is, and therefore he should make it known
But you
to
see,
us.
this is my problem. If he knows the account number, and he knows the name of that account, and he's told us that money is in somebody's houses, is he not giving those individuals a head start? He's telling the media, he's writing notes saying, I know where the money is, I know who owns it, I know where it is.
Those guys are probably at the Cayman
They've
Islands
already
right
cleared
now.
their houses.
You know, they.
So, but you see what we're assuming is
Yeah.
that KINOTI is
Yeah.
giving information inadvertently, meaning that he is giving information
That's
without
very true.
intending to
Absolutely.
jeopardize his investigation.
Absolutely.
What if the opposite is true and he's actually
Dog whistling.
dog whistling?
Yeah.
He's giving, anyway.
But you
So-
see, this is the danger. If you say that amount of money was lost from a bank, what you're actually saying is that monetary systems at the Central Bank of Kenya do not work. The Central
very
Bank of
true.
Kenya is the principal banker of the state.
Either he is saying that, either that is what he's telling us, or that the person who was able to make this withdrawal at that bank branch in Westlands has the highest level of clearing ever.
Yes.
And I'd like to combine your 2 points, because if you remember a story from maybe a week and a half ago, where ministers were complaining about the limits for bank
Yes.
transfers. So if we're saying that everyday civilians have to give an invoice for where that 1 million
Shillings
came
is
from
going,
and
yeah.
where it's going,
Yeah.
then it must be connected that if you're going to send 4 billion Kenya shillings, you have to be
Yeah,
Bank-
$15,000,
yeah,
4 billion.
Shillings. Branch managers would be chasing you for as little as $1 million bob.
Exactly.
Now, $40 million is
That's a lot,
huge.
yeah.
Who
It's
is
crazy.
this poor branch manager that had to put his signature or her signature
Yeah,
on
that
that
might
kind
come
of
back to bite
transaction?
them.
Let me tell
That
you.
is scary.
If that thing happened at night,
Yeah.
Njoroge would know.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I think we leave that conversation as it continues to unfold.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see where it goes.
Yeah.
So now we can move on to the cartoons, I suppose.
Yes.
And let's start with the nation.
Mm-hmm.
So on the nation we have it's Munene. Munene, today you're also, it's a continuation of visual misrepresentation.
Yes.
We're calling him out, are we not?
We're calling
Yeah.
you out, Munene, because what is going on here? We have who appears to be
Yeah.
Mobutu,
Sister
and
Seko.
he has a hand puppet in his hand, which
Yes.
we can, it's the likeness of Kabila,
Joseph
Kabila.
Yeah.
Based on his full beard. And then he in turn also has another hand puppet, which is
Yeah.
the current president who was just sworn in, Tshisekedi.
Yeah.
And he is declaring, I am my own man, which of course he is not, because he is from a series of hand puppets.
Right.
The issue I have with this is
Yes.
that it's not historically factual.
Accurate,
This is
yeah.
conjectured history.
Yes.
First, there's a president missing in there,
Yes.
the Junior Kabila's father.
Yes.
But
Loro Desire Kabila, aka
but also-
Mzetatu.
but
how
it
is
doesn't add
Mobutu
up.
puppeteering
Junior Kabila.
Yes.
First of all, Kabila's dad,
Yeah.
Desire,
Yeah.
he ran him out of town. He ran Mobutu out of town.
Right.
By the
Deposed.
time the younger Kabila was president,
Mobutu has
was
he's
dead.
dead.
Yes.
So what's going on here?
Yeah, conjuncture.
We can see
definitely.
I can see the Tshisekedi and Kabila connection, the younger Kabila connection, because of what happened recently. They have formed a coalition government. Nice chess move.
Yes.
Beyond that,
I think our friend Munene was looking for a narrative,
Yeah.
because I think anytime you see Mobutu with his trademark
Yes.
leopard in his hat, you know, it's something that you look at. So he was looking for a narrative, but he missed the mark.
In fact, if I was Monene, I would actually take recognition of exactly what happened to Tshisekedi. Tshisekedi was an opposition guy. But then he announced the candidature of his presidency in Nairobi, Kenya.
that's true, actually, at
Right?
Serena,
That's, I
isn't
think-
it?
Yeah, that's, I think, November 22nd, 2018. All right? The only president, rephrase, the only president who attended his inauguration
Was
was
ours.
President Uhuru Kenyatta. Right? He should have put the puppeteer here to be.
It would be a different person.
So I think
Absolutely. First, let me rein it in with the
yes.
criteria.
Yeah.
Is the cartoon humorous or is it dry as a
Right.
biscuit?
Yes.
Is it satirical or is it pessimistic?
Right.
Is it effective, this cartoon, or is it plain lazy?
I think it's
I think
you know
so.
what? I think the criteria aside, the fact that it is conjuncture history,
Yeah.
there's factual inaccuracies.
Yes.
It is an instant disqualification. Nene,
Exactly.
do better.
We've never had that before.
Okay, and so let's move on to, we have the standard.
The standard, yeah.
All right.
Oh, I like this one.
All right.
So we have,
So we have 4 women here who are speaking to the media.
Yeah.
The first woman, who looks like a pig, is saying, "Our male counterparts steal and eat more than us."
Yes.
The second woman with stump feet
Yes.
says they are far more incompetent and more beep up 10 times than us. The last woman says, "Yet you focus on us."
And the other
And there's a
one?
final woman who looks like a slay queen taking.
you know what, I'm going to
Sophie.
invoke my powers as the host and give a verdict on Gado's cartoon today. This is imprudent, it is in bad taste. This is International Women's Day. It is impolitic, it's everything. It's everything unsavory.
So we toss it.
We toss it. First of all, just one more thing.
Was it the pig that annoyed you?
No.
Ah.
The thing that annoyed me is that Gado went out of his way to do a representation of all types of women in Kenya, as much as he could think of, so that his insult can be all inclusive. And he's an equal opportunity offender in this case. This is International Women's Day. Please shape up.
Yeah, all right.
In that happy note,
On that note, we toss.
Oh,
Finally, the
God.
star.
The DM is so angry.
I really am.
Will you like this one now?
It's on the same note, is it not?
It's on the same note, however, it becomes our winning cartoon today by default.
We don't
because
have to assign a winning cartoon.
only because it meets one of the criterias, which is it's effective. I think it passes on a message.
You know, I say I couldn't even understand it. Huh?
I think that's the problem. The fact that you have to overanalyze and discuss and ask for the opinions of 10 other people.
Isn't that what a clever cartoon is about?
Not understanding it. But has she fallen through this keyhole or what?
Yeah, because everything is going against her. It appears even the scale doesn't have a place for her to place her bottom. So, but then patriarchy, which is just a piece of paper, is
Sitting pretty.
pretty on the other side.
Today, I'll attack is Ndolo.
Ndula.
Ndula.
Victor Ndula.
Victor Ndula.
Yes.
I like you, by the way. But I don't think there's any economy in this region of ours that is as women-led as Kenya's.
Oh, what about Rwanda?
Rwanda. They are leading the.
Let me tell you, Rwanda's economy is the amount of money is 8 billion GDP, $8 billion.
So,
Ours about $72 billion.
You know, this is not.
You cannot compare that. What the SMEs in this, you would be shocked by the number of women that lead SMEs in this country. It's just fantastic. The figures are good.
It's good that you're actually labeling them SMEs because the business world should translate to the political world. SMEs are not women participating in governance. These are not women who have been given a seat on the table to make decisions that are of national importance, that drive the economy.
They actually drive the economy. 85% of the workforce in this
They're
country
driving the economy. They're driving the economy in spaces that they have created for themselves, but at the national level, the gates are closed.
All right, let me bring us back in so that we can discuss the cartoon. Yes, this is a fantastic discussion, but we're here to discuss the political pieces that we call cartoons in this country.
Yeah.
Is it humorous?
There we go.
Yeah. It's not humorous for me.
Is it satirical?
It is not.
I think it's more pessimistic
It is
than
not.
satirical.
I thought it was effective.
He has not recognized the amount of power women have in Kenya. 3.5 trillion shillings is done by SMEs.
Okay, so what 2M is saying is that the amount of power that women have so far in Kenya suffices.
It's far greater.
They do not need any more. They should know their place and they should stay
I'm not
in
saying
the
that.
$3 trillion bracket.
No.
3 trillion, by the way, is 1 year's budget.
Shillings.
1 year's budget for this country.
GDP.
Shillings, in fact. Sorry, I said dollars.
All right,
I'm
guys.
actually saying Lulo has not recognized the the power women have in this country.
I think the best cartoon, if I was a cartoonist, the best cartoon that I would draw today on International Women's Day would either be one that lauds the progress of women so far, or one that highlights the perils of women. Not one that abuses or insults women.
So
like
you're agreeing with me? Fantastic.
No, actually, you're missing the point.
Very good.
So I think this is a good cartoon.
DM has agreed with me. Women
All right, guys. So
are
do we have a winning cartoon today? Yes, this is the last one standing, but do we then assign it the winning cartoon of the day?
I think it meets one of our criteria. I don't know if that's enough for it to win. It's effective. It passes on a message and it's appropriate.
I think we should say no winning headline.
So no winning headline today and no winning cartoon.
Yes.
All right. That's the 8th of March.
All right. Thank you, guys. We will see you on Monday.